Biking in the Netherlands. This is the next video of my 1 year in the Netherlands series. So the Netherlands is a country of biking. You find people, elderly people, children, kids, young, old, couples. You find a lot of bikes. In fact, there is even a dedicated part on the road for people who are biking. So when I came here, I wasn't exactly surprised because I had already watched videos about Netherlands and I already knew that they were like a biking city. So for me, coming from a country where you have bicycles just for fun and not necessarily a mode of transport, I was like, okay, am I going to also join these people and become somebody who bikes a lot? So I actually got a bicycle at the beginning of last year, and I hadn't ridden a bicycle for I think 5 years or 6 years. I can't remember the last time I actually rode a bicycle. But then I got a bicycle at the beginning of the year, and I was just excited, being in the Netherlands, let's bike a little. And I think it was actually surprising because I was able to quickly relearn the bicycle skills I used to have, so it didn't really take me long time. But I think one of the things that I had to get used to was the traffic light. I wasn't very used to the traffic lights because the traffic lights also have an indication for bicycles in some places, in some other places they don't. So I had to get used to that because I get to a particular point where I'm like, do I move? Do I wait? So usually when I'm biking, I would wait for other people who are biking at my back, and then I see what they do. If they cross, I cross. If they go right, I go right. If they go left, I go left. So yeah, that was what I was doing with my bicycle then. And then I can remember one time biking to my office. On the map it said it was 30 minutes biking, but I ended up using 45 to 50 minutes biking. I think what the maps was showing was probably an e-bike, because I cannot imagine using 15 minutes extra on the road. I can remember getting to the office that day and my legs were off. I needed 1 hour to actually recover. And then even while I was walking that day, I was just thinking, how am I going to get home? Am I going to bike for 45 minutes again? So I think I can remember biking to my office twice. And I did a little of biking. Also, it's a cold country. I wasn't used to the cold, so I just parked my bike and I just left it and I kept using the public transport. At some point, I even started asking myself, why exactly did I even buy a bike? It was a second hand anyway, so it wasn't super expensive. Then we came to the summer season where it was a little bit hot, so I was like, okay, I want to bike again, but I don't want to bike for long distances where I would need some extra time to regain myself. So what I started doing was I started biking to the church. I discovered that the biking distance from my place to the church is 13 to 15 minutes, and when I use public transport to the church, it actually takes me 30 minutes. So for me, it was also a way to reduce the time that I spent going to the church, maybe having extra hours of sleep on Sunday morning. But yeah, I just wanted to learn the whole biking habit. So I was biking to the church and I was enjoying the experience. And one thing I actually learned with the biking was I began to become more familiar with the environment. When I'm going on the metro to church, I'm not used to, what these other roads are or what building is here, what building is there. But when I started biking to the church, even though it was a 13-minute distance, I was becoming more familiar. I was learning more about the roads. I was like, oh, this is where the IKEA is. Oh, this is where this company is. Oh, this is the path that leads here. This is the path that leads to the east. This is the path that leads to the west. Oh, this is the highway. I became more familiar with those things. So anytime I was going to the church, I was biking. But then after the summer, the winter came again, and yeah, I was like, nah, I have to re-strategize, probably get the right gloves, get the right clothing or whatever, so I can cope with not just the cold but also the rain. So I also got rain jackets, rain pants. Yeah, I got a couple of things because I wanted to bike. And then I also wanted to bike to the office more. So I wanted to actually do more biking, not just 10 minutes, but even 20 minutes and 30 minutes. But I didn't just want something where, I bike to the office and then my legs are gone and I've used all my strength on the way. So what I did was I also invested in getting an e-bike. I was able to find one at a good price. There was this very high discount, so I felt like it was a good timing for me. So even though I bike to the office for 30 minutes, my legs are not gone. Of course, I still need some energy to actually bike, but with the e-bike I get some assistance, and of course I get more familiar with the environment, with the roads, with the different directions, with where different things are. Things I would usually not see if I'm in the public transport, I get to see them on the bike. So my biking experience has been nice. I find myself even biking sometimes in the rain, and yeah, it's not always a good experience, but I feel like I'm becoming one of those Dutch people who would bike regardless of the weather. I am not one yet, but it has been a beautiful journey, you know, getting more familiar with the city, also doing some exercise in the morning because why not? Also just becoming a better biker or a better cyclist myself. Anyways, there is more to my biking story and experience. Few times where I've almost been involved in accidents. Yeah, there has been like a couple of experiences like that, but yeah, I don't want to make this video longer than it already is. Watch out for more videos I'll be sharing in this 1 year in the Netherlands series. Peace.